Unix administrator can do anything by logging with root. This like if you compare this root, what is the equivalent or analogous name in different we can say software. So I can say in Oracle database, it's an Oracle user. The Oracle is the user, is the main super user who can handle all the tasks of the database. Similarly, in Windows NT or Windows 2000 whatever, the 2003, 8 or 12, administrator on our Windows operating system, administrator is the name of the super user. Okay, so that way. Root. Similarly, this one. Okay, now let's go. Do not allocate too many privileges to users who do not need them. It can be dangerous and is strongly discouraged. So, if you are a Unix administrator, and most likely you will be, you cannot give more privileges or too many privileges or rights. Privileges means rights to the users. Okay. So that could be dangerous. So you have to give limited privileges and rights to the normal users. Okay. Create individual user accounts so that each user can be tracked by security measures such as auditing and logging in. Yeah, so you cannot share the user accounts. Like for example, one username is like a first name and last name something, or any coding. You can give those names like yes Sharma, like Sanjay Sharma. The yes Sharma is the name of the user, or something Oracle is the name, or WebLogic is the name, or something like those users you can create. Okay. Now let's go to next one. How to log in? That is one process. What is the procedure? One of the most common ways to connect to a Unix system is remotely. So, and use SSH or Telnet. So remotely, if I have like I have to open the what is called Xterm or a window. Like in DOS there is a command prompt or CMD, right? From there are some other programs like PuTTY and other. So you can use SSH and give the name of that. You can specify SSH means like a secure shell. This is the one command, and I am using this. With this command I am connecting to the one host name. Here I put in $host name, means you can replace this by your host name. Your host name may be something web server 1 and DB200 or something, some Moon, Mars, or Arthur 25, or any host name you can give to your Unix machine. And you are trying to connect in this from SSH and giving L, means login with this ID. You put in your ID here. I will log in with some user, so I can put in here. Okay, SSH and give the name of this user. -L and then say maybe my name may be anything, like a user 10 is my username, and host name is something Mars something. Okay, so -l user 10 marks. In this way you can connect to that Unix machine. And most of the times, yeah, most of the times you have to connect remotely, like the to PC or laptops. We directly uh, start the laptop and log into that machine itself. But in Unix, the Unix is a big machine, and you have to connect from one small PC to the another big server, or we can say operating system, Unix system. Okay, once you issue this, there used to be telnet also, but now like in last couple of years, telnet was not secure, so this SSH is being used for connecting to the remote machine or remote Unix machine. Once you issue this command, that Unix machine prompts for this one. What is your login? What is your username? And what is your password? Uh, then that is text based. See, here is a text based written. Another way is a GUI. That is a also called GUI program, and also what is called graphical user interface. Graphical user interface like a Windows XP or Windows 7, like that. That is a graphical. Graphical means you can see all the desktop and everything. That is graphical. In that case also you get a login prompt. To log in with a graphical user interface, log into KDE. That is a desktop environment. Like a desktop environment means like we have like Windows. Those are desktop like that you can log into. Means the way you see Windows machine, like that you can log into the Unix machines also. Logging out, you have to write exit. When you are logging out, you have to type in exit, EXIT. Shell. Shell is the fourth topic. This is very important tool or utility or the feature of the Unix operating system. Shell, the true power of Unix is within the text-based environment, where you can execute every command completely. Again, only problem with this is knowing how to manipulate these commands. This shell is like if you have like let me quickly exit from here. No, not this. I wanted to share. I wanted to show you the command of this what is called DOS. Okay, and see, you can see this is dir, right? So this is the command in DOS or Windows. So similarly, there will be like a shell prompt. The same way, there will be shell prompt, and there will be a shell prompt for the Unix as well, like this same way. And the text bed, whatever you're typing, like your dir, you're displaying all this. This is called text based. And this text based or shell type, shell is that has got more power. So what he's saying is only problem with this is knowing how to manipulate these commands. Like for example, this command I have given, there are so many commands in Unix, and those commands you should know how to work on those commands, and then see the power of the Unix. That is it is trying to explain here. Programming is to automate a process or job. This is called programming. To automate jobs, you can write a shell script. See, shell, and script. Script, like, script, there are some tasks, you can put in those tasks in the script and execute it. So the script is nothing more than a file that calls commands to automate a process. So one script is like a small one file, yeah, and you can put in all your commands in there and execute that in one shot. You're executing so many commands, and also one time or regularly whenever you want, or you can put in a cron. That is called cron, is like a one Unix operating system's utility. You can schedule the jobs or these files to run. For example, I can give one example. If you want to generate a report of something, like, like if it is something like what is called any, like, medical systems, and they want to check how many patients visited, and how, and they want to generate the report of that, everything daily, maybe like by end of the day or in the morning. So that you can put in one file and run that, run through or schedule to the cron, CRON. So shell is command interpreter translator. Shell is basically here, the one I showed you is a command prompt. That's like a shell, okay, and that program, it translates. Some command, like, one command is like SSH, we say, but SSH, that SSH is converted into some different language, so that the Unix operating system and that computer and the complete hardware behind that scene can understand that language. So the shell is basically one like a translator. Like, in today's globalization, most of the people don't know some countries' languages, like, for example, English and Russian. So Russian people, or Hindi people, for example, they don't know that there is a translator is required. The shell is like a translator, which when you type in the command there, it converts that command into such a format so that the Unix operating system, kernel, and there's all the hardware can understand that. And then when the kernel sends the CPU, or when they send the results, this shell again converts in such a way that the user, like me and you, can understand that. So basically, shell is the converter, or we can say interpreter or translator. So here, shell converts into machine language so that the kernel can understand it. Shell is an interface. Interface means like, interface means like something, translator kind of stuff. Interface. Okay, interface between the user and kernel. So means it's like an interface which can understand language of both people, like users and kernel. So that is called shell interface. Kernel is at the heart of the Unix. Yeah. So sometimes like kernel itself is called a Unix, and remaining all additional programs. So kernel is important, and that is the heart of the Unix. Okay. So So, so at the center is a kernel, and there is a shell, and after the shell there are people. People are maybe any program or any some other GUI program, or the users, or the some processes, anything. But they all everybody sends a question to shell, and shell send those questions to the by converting in different language send to the kernel. So and kernel send the results back to the shell, and shell send those results to the users and processes. What are the types of shell? There is born shell. Born means like a name of the person, and these are all the software programs. Shell and all these are the software. Unix itself is a complete software. Okay. This born shell that was developed by this person, that's why he has given his name born shell, and that interpreter or translator. So this is one of the most commonly used shell. Okay, by default it's in Unix. SH in short it is called SH. And another was the C shell. This for the C programmers, like a text name from the C programming language. A programming language is similar to shell scripting, in which it uses the same concepts of automation. Shell scripting is like a, like programming language. Most developers are familiar with the C shell. The shell is the syntax is a little bit different. Some people are more familiar with C language, that they use a C shell. But work is same, converting the user's commands, converting into different format and sending to the kernel. The K shell, corn shell. The corn is the name of the person, and he developed or modified this shell, and he has given his name K shell or KSH. In short, it's only called KSH. So similar to born shell, with the added